Welcome to Dr. Shashi's Math Mantra channel. Today we are going to start Wilson theorem and its application. Let's state the Wilson's theorem. If p is a prime number, then p minus 1 factorial is congruent to minus 1 modulo p. Let's prove it. If p is equal to 2 or p equal to 3, then the given congruence becomes 2 minus 1 factorial is congruent to minus 1 modulo 2. That is, and for p equal to 3, it becomes 2 factorial is congruent to minus 1 modulo 3, because when we put 3 here, we will get 3 minus 1 is 2, that is 2 factorial is congruent to minus 1 modulo 3. Thus, 1 is congruent to minus 1 modulo 2 and 2 is congruent to minus 1 modulo 3. And this shows that 2 divides 2, because 1 is congruent to minus 1 modulo 2 means 2 divides 1 minus of minus 1, that becomes 2. Similarly, 3 divides 2 minus of minus 1, that becomes 3. So 3 divides 3, and which is true. Therefore, the congruence given result is true for p equal to 2 and p equal to 3. So now we consider that p greater than 3. Let a be an integer such that a is greater than equal to 1 and less than equal to p minus 1. That is, a belongs to this set of numbers from 1 to p minus 1. Then surely a and p will be coprime, because all the numbers are less than p and p is a prime number. Now consider the linear congruence. Ax is congruent to 1 modulo p. Consider this linear congruence. Ax is congruent to 1 modulo p. Since a and p are coprime, therefore the congruence 1 has unique solution modulo p. Because any congruence have how many solutions? It will have, in this number equation 1, it will have unique solution because of 1 here. So let it be b, that is, the unique solution is b. Therefore, it will satisfy the congruence ax is congruent to 1 modulo p, and so ab is congruent to 1 modulo p, where b belongs to this set, that is of numbers 1, 2, 3 up to p minus 1. Thus, what we get? If b is given, then there is exactly 1. Then there is exactly 1a, where a is greater than equal to 1 and less than equal to p minus 1, such that ab is congruent to 1 modulo p. Thus, we get this thing. Therefore, a and b form a pair. इस तरह का ये पेयर बन गए कि a b is congruent to 1 modulo p. Now, we group the integers 1, 2, 3 up to p minus 1 into the pairs a b, so that the congruence 1, that is ax is congruent to 1 modulo p is satisfied. So, let's take a not equal to b. Now we will see what happens if a equal to b. If a equal to b, then the congruence becomes a square is congruent to 1 modulo p, and this implies p divides a square minus 1, and this implies either p divides a minus 1 or p divides a plus 1, because we can factorize a square minus 1 in a minus 1 and a plus 1. So from here we can say either a minus 1 is equal to 0 or a plus 1 is equal to p, because a lies between 1 and p minus 1, that is, a is greater than equal to 1 and less than equal to p minus 1. Therefore, a minus 1 will be greater than less than or equal to p minus 2 and greater than equal to 0, but p minus 2 is less than p. Therefore, since p divides a minus 1, so a minus 1 must be equal to 0. Similarly, a plus 1 will be less than equal to p and greater than equal to 2, and p also divide a plus 1, therefore a plus 1 will be equal to p. So from here we can say that either A is congruent to 1 modulo P, therefore A equal to 1, or A is congruent to minus 1 modulo P, therefore A equal to P minus 1, right? But this case does not give the required result. Therefore, if we exclude 1 and P minus 1 from the set of integers, then all the remaining numbers, that is 2, 3 up to P minus 2, can be grouped in pairs AB such that AB is congruent to 1 modulo P, where A is not equal to B. Thus, we get P minus 3 by 2 congruencies. Why they are P minus 3 by 2 congruencies? Because we have the numbers 2, 3 up to P minus 2. These numbers in P minus 3, these are the P minus 3 numbers. When we pair these, we will get half of them congruencies. So we get P minus 3 by 2 congruencies. Now we multiply all these P minus 3 by 2 congruencies. We get 2 into 3 into 4, so up to P minus 3 into P minus 2 is congruent to 1 modulo P. Now multiplying both sides by P minus 1, we get 2 into 3 into 4, so up to P minus 2 into P minus 1 is congruent to P minus 1 modulo P. This implies P minus 1 factorial is congruent to minus 1 modulo P. Hence, the proof of theorem. Now, converse of the Wilson's theorem is also true. What is the statement of this? It will be P minus 1 factorial plus 1 is congruent to 0 modulo P, then P is a prime number. For the proof, since P minus 1 factorial plus 1 is congruent to 0 modulo P, that implies that P divides P minus 1 factorial plus 1. Let it be number 1 equation. Let us assume that P is not a prime number. We consider that P is not a prime number. Now, if it is not a prime number, then it must be composite. So, it must have the two factors, namely P1 and P2, where P1 is greater than 1 and less than P, and same for the P2, that is greater than 1 and less than P. So this implies P1 divides P and P divides P minus 1 factorial plus 1. Therefore, by transitivity, we can say P1 divides P minus 1 factorial plus 1. Let it be number 2. As P1 is greater than 1 and less than equal to P minus 1, therefore P1 is a factor of P minus 1 factorial. This implies P1 divides P minus 1 factorial. Now from 2 and 3 we can get P1 divides P minus 1 factorial plus 1 minus P minus 1 factorial. This P minus 1 factorial and P minus 1 factorial get cancelled. So we get P1 divides 1. But P1 cannot divide 1 as P1 is surely greater than 1. Thus our assumption is wrong. Hence P is prime. So that's the converse of the Wilson's theorem. Now let's do some applications of Wilson's theorem. First of all, we will show that 12 factorial plus 1 is divisible by 13, and then we will show that 6 factorial plus 1 is divisible by 7. Now, since 13 is a prime number, therefore by Wilson's theorem we can get 13 minus 1 factorial is congruent to minus 1 modulo 13, and this implies 12 factorial is congruent to minus 1 modulo 13, or this we can say that 12 factorial plus 1 is congruent to 0 modulo 13 by adding 1 both sides. So this shows that 13 divides 12 factorial plus 1. Now similarly, since 7 is a prime number, so 7 minus 1 factorial is congruent to minus 1 modulo 7, and that implies 6 factorial is congruent to minus 1 modulo 7, or 6 factorial plus 1 is congruent to 0 modulo 7, therefore 6 factorial plus 1 is divisible by 7. Let's do the another application of the Wilson's theorem. to show that 18 factorial plus 1 is congruent to 0 modulo 23. Now since 23 is prime number, therefore by Wilson's theorem 22 factorial is congruent to minus 1 modulo 23. Now this 22 factorial can be written as 22 into 21 into 20 into 19 into 18 factorial congruent to minus 1 modulo 23. Here we have 18 factorial. So we expand 22 factorial up to the 18 factorial. Now we will see that 22 is congruent to minus 1 modulo 23, right? Also 21 is congruent to minus 2 modulo 23. 20 will be congruent to minus 3 modulo 23, and 19 will be congruent to minus 4 modulo 23. Okay, because we can say, we can prove here, because 23 divides 22 minus of minus 1. That implies 23 divides 23. Similarly for the other congruences. So multiplying all the congruences in this equation number 2, so we get 22 into 21 into 20 into 19 is congruent to minus 1 into minus 2 into minus 3 into minus 4 modulo 23, and that is congruent to 24 modulo 23. But 24 can be written as 23 plus 1 modulo 23, therefore it will be congruent to 1 modulo 23. Let it be marked as 3. Now from this 1 and 3, what we get? We get 22 into 21 into 20 into 19 into 18 factorial is congruent to 1 into 18 factorial, and that is congruent to minus 1 modulo 23. Using this 1, because this whole is congruent to minus 1 modulo 23, and from here we get 22 into 21 into 20 into 19 is congruent to 1 modulo 23. So placing this 1 here for 22 into 21 into 20 into 19. So we get 18 factorial plus 1 is congruent to 0 modulo 23. So we get the answers. Now let's do the next question. Next application of the Wilson theorem, that is, find the remainder when 2 into 26 factorial is divisible by 29. Now again, since 29 is the prime number, therefore by Wilson theorem we will have 29 minus 1 factorial is congruent to minus 1 modulo 29. That is 28 factorial is congruent to minus 1 modulo 29. Now we write 28 factorial as 28 into 27 factorial. And we know that we can write, instead of 28, we can write minus 1 modulo 29. So we get minus 1 into 27 into 26 factorial is congruent to minus 1 modulo 29, because we can expand 27 factorial as 27 into the 26 factorial. Now 27 will be congruent to minus 2 modulo 29. 27 will be congruent to minus 2 modulo 29. So we get minus 1 into minus 2 into 26 factorial is congruent to minus 1 modulo 29. Now this minus 1 can be written as 28 minus the 29. Now 29 is congruent to 0 modulo 29, therefore we get 2 into 26 factorial is congruent to 28 modulo 29. Hence the remainder is 28. Let's do the another application. To show that p factorial and p minus 1 factorial minus 1 are relatively prime if p is an odd prime number. To show this, let the GCD of p factorial and p minus 1 factorial minus 1 is equal to d. Then by definition of GCD, d will divide p factorial and p minus 1 factorial minus 1. By definition of divisibility, we can say there exist integers k and k dash such that p factorial will be equal to kd, and p minus 1 factorial minus 1 will be equal to k dash d. Or this p factorial can be expanded in this form, that is p into p minus 1 factorial. So we get p into p minus 1 factorial is equal to kd, and from here we can say p minus 1 factorial is equal to 1 plus k dash d. ये ट्रांसफॉर्म हो गया 1 इधर, then we get 1 plus k dash d. So we put the value of this p minus 1 factorial here. So we get p into 1 plus k dash d is equal to kd. Or multiplying by p in this, we get p plus p k dash d equal to kd. This implies kd minus p k dash d equal to p, or we can say d into k minus p k dash is equal to p, and this shows that d divides p, thus d will be equal to 1 or p. Now if d is equal to p, then what will happen? Then since d divides p minus 1 factorial minus 1, therefore the d equal to p shows that p will divide this p minus 1 factorial minus 1. That means p minus 1 factorial minus 1 will be congruent to 0 modulo p. But by Wilson's theorem we know that p minus 1 factorial plus 1 is congruent to 0 modulo p. So from this 1 and 2 we get p minus 1 factorial is congruent to 0 modulo p, and subtracting these two we get 2 is congruent to 0 modulo p, and this implies p divides 2, which is not possible because p is odd prime. Therefore p must be greater than equal to 3. Therefore the only possibility left is d is equal to 1. Thus this proves that GCD of p factorial and p minus 1 factorial minus 1 is equal to 1. So p factorial and p minus 1 factorial minus 1 are co-prime. Hence the proof is. Thank you.